Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Have You Heard? I'm Richard, and today, for the second time, we're listening to Dire Straits. And here's Love Over Gold, their 1982 album. And we're going to be listening to Private Investigations, which is quite possibly the most interesting Dire Straits song, in my opinion. Um, I've really loved it since the first time I heard it way back in late 1982 in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. And it's remained one of my favourites ever since. And it really did feel, in fact, this whole album did feel like a slight departure for Dire Straits from the guitar based narrative songs that Mark Knopfler did so wonderfully well into a more atmospheric, dare I say, progressive mode. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you're a Dire Straits fan, we've just done the one song before, it's Wild West End from the debut, but have a look at all the videos we have linked below in our playlists, and if you like what you see, dig in. And perhaps also subscribe to the channel. To all the regulars here today, welcome. And hopefully after the song, we'll have a little bit of a chat about Dire Straits and this particular album in particular. But let's listen first of all to this song, which, despite its length, I think it was edited slightly for the single market, but it made number 2 in the UK charts. Now, I wasn't anywhere near the UK in 1982. I never realised it was such a successful single, but doing my research, there it is. I don't think it was released as a single in the US. But of course, it became a live favourite, and on YouTube there were a fair number of reactions to the live show and the live performances. But on this channel, I prefer to listen to the original studio versions or the recorded live versions without the distraction of video. I prefer to just listen to the music. Anyway, here we go. It is Private Investigations from Love Over Gold, which it was released as a single on the 27th of August in 1982. Here it is.
find the reason. I still can't get used to it. And what have you got? At the end of the day, what do you got to take away? A bottle of whiskey and a new set of lies, blinds on the window and a pain behind the eyes. Scarred for life, no compensation. Private investigations.
Such a superb atmospheric piece of music, isn't it? And it's almost an instrumental rather than a song, because of those spoken lyrics. They seem to be just another little instrument that kind of leads the way into your entering the atmosphere of a Raymond Chandler novel, because that's what inspired the song. the novels of Raymond Chandler. Um, I've always had a few questions listening to this, and even after watching the live video performances. Um, of course, David Knopfler had left the band after the third album, and Hal Lindis on guitar and Alan Clark significantly on keyboards were brought in to augment and maybe make the sound fuller, because Mark, it seems as if he wanted to get into broader kind of musical areas. And of course, this album has Telegraph Road at 14, 15 minutes long, and this at nearly 7 minutes long, as the whole of side one, which does seem very progressive. I'm sure. Has anyone asked him the question? I've never seen it. I'm sure he would have said, no, 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 it's not progressive music, but sure feels that way to me. I just love the questions I was going to ask. The early, after the early synthesizer doom kind of sound sets the tone. Those guitars coming in either ear, was that just Hal Lindis, or was it Mark and Hal, or was it Mark? We know that Mark, of course, did the acoustic um, kind of classical guitar, which is absolutely gorgeous. Has there ever been a finer recording of an acoustic guitar? It's really, really good. Then, of course, you've got those spoken lyrics, which, again, I prefer the recorded version to the live version. He seems to just throw them away when he does live performances. This just feels a little bit more calculated, and I prefer the studio version of that. The keyboards, Alan Clark's keyboards, certainly made a huge difference to the band. Those beautiful piano chords that set up the exciting finale, but of all of the textures underneath. And then there's, if you listen closely on headphones, then there are all the sound effects that give you that feeling of a movie noir kind of again Raymond Chandler feel, with milk bottles being knocked over and just little sounds, creaking of doors. Uh, Fascinating. How this became a top 10 single, number two. I'm beyond me. I wonder what the album, the single charts were this week when it got to number two in 1982. I would imagine there's lots of synth pop and new wave in there, ABC and Human League and that sort of thing. This would be a bit of a throwback, wouldn't it? I love it. I absolutely love this song. This is my favourite Dire Straits album, Love Over Gold, just over the debut album. The debut album has just, over the 40 odd years, has just grown and grown on me so much. And Dire Straits are a weird band for me. Um, where, where do they sit in the hierarchy of greatness? I'd be interested to hear what you think. I like the first album. The second and third were okay, and a couple of the songs were nice. I loved this, and then of course Brothers in Arms came out, and I have to admit that after a short while, if Money for Nothing came on the radio, I'd run as far away as possible. It just suffered from overkill. And I never really returned back to Dire Straits. So it's really albums one and four with a smattering of two and three for me. But I know, of course, that Brothers in Arms was a huge, huge hit. But it's not in my collection. Which albums are in your collections? I'd really be interested to find out. Anyway, that's me and my few musings on private investigations. I think it's a fascinating, wonderful piece of music, and I'm always happy to play it and listen to it, particularly after Telegraph Road, which maybe one day we must put in Epic Track Review, because at 14 minutes and 15 seconds, it surely is an epic. Um, Please let me know what you think, and like and subscribe to the channel, and like the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps us get out to more people. But that will be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely weekend, and I'll see you on tomorrow's episode, which of course is the next in the Epic Track Review series. So it's a long track tomorrow. But I'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great time. Cheers, everybody.